What is good, Neo family? It's your boy Rey-Jay back with another one, and in this video, I'm going to be doing a quick technical analysis for Neo. I'm also going to do a long-term technical analysis as well. I'm going to go over just two pieces of news in this video before I end it, but I do have to note something very important before I start, and that is the fact that I'm actually recording this on Monday nights because I'm unavailable to be recording on Tuesday. So I know it's a little bit different, but I just think that this long-term in-depth technical analysis will be very helpful for you for Neo, especially if you're holding it. And I just want to talk about what I think is going to play out. So before I do get started, like you guys know, I do have to mention some very important things. First off, I'm not a financial, legal, or taxation expert, so don't take this as financial, legal, or taxation advice. Everything in this video is solely for entertainment purposes only. Also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Neo community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link in the description and down below. If you do sign up, you're not only going to qualify for an iPhone 13 Pro giveaway, meaning you could win an iPhone 13 Pro, but you're also going to get up to 5 free stocks, each worth up to $3,500. So with that out of the way, guys, let's get on with the video. So for the short-term technical analysis, guys, I don't know exactly if my numbers are correct because like I said before, okay, I'm not recording this video when the market was open. I didn't record this on Tuesday. I don't know exactly how the numbers actually look, but I do want to note some very important things about NEO. We do have pretty strong support at around the $32 range. We also have support at the 30. So I don't know where NEO was when the market closed on Tuesday. I'm recording this Monday night, but right now it is looking a little bit bearish. We could see a bit of a drop. We are trading very close to these moving averages, exponential moving averages over shorter time frames. That's no surprise, but we are kind of showing some bearish momentum right here. Like I said, the MACD is showing that we're trading a little sideways, but it is showing some red histograms, which means we could drop a little bit. The RSI is showing the same thing. So why am I talking about the drop? Well, I talked about the fact that Evergrande, they defaulted on their debt, and that obviously is going to affect a lot of market makers as they're selling positions so that they could raise funds to meet margin requirements. So that's one factor. Another factor is the fact that on Wednesday, as you guys know, the Fed is going to be announcing the policy changes. So there's a lot of uncertainty. So it is more probable to see some red for the overall market, including NEO. However, guys, it's not necessarily the end of this play. And here's the reason why. I'm still very bullish for the long-term future. I'm still very bullish for what could actually play out in even a couple of months, guys. I do see some big things coming. And also, guys, NEO Day is coming this Friday, so we could even see a run-up leading up to that. It's just that it's very hard for me to make that call because it's very dependent on the news. It depends on what the Fed says. I mean, like I said, I'm not a true fortune teller. It's very hard right now. Otherwise, if it wasn't for this whole inflation situation, if it wasn't for the Fed potentially raising interest rates or any of that, NEO would easily see a very good run up. I'm very confident in this company anyways, so don't lose faith, guys, that easily. Look at this right over here. The Nasdaq stated that NEO looks very attractive after a meaningful correction. And they're talking about the fact that NEO could be a very good buy for the long-term future. They're talking about how the EV industry is on a high growth trajectory. That makes me super excited, guys. The Nasdaq is reporting this too, and there are tons and tons of people giving NEO some very high buy ratings. But I want to talk about that from a very different perspective. Look at this right here. Jim Cramer, and I know we don't always trust everything he says. We take what he says with a grain of salt. He stated that he would sell out of NEO very soon, and typically this guy is wrong about lots of plays. So a funny way of looking at this is do the opposite of what he says. He said that Tesla would crash, and that did not play out. Then right now, NEO is kind of on a bit of a downward trend, but when you look at NEO's charts, it does resemble something very interesting. And this is why I'm going to now talk about the technical analysis. And I do apologize. Look, this one video, it is recorded on Monday night. I am unavailable to talk about any pieces of news that came out for Tuesday night. So I apologize, but I am going to talk about this from a different perspective. So right here, this chart right here, the white chart you guys see right here, this is known as a Wyckoff accumulation schematic. This represents the people that actually dictate the market a lot more heavily than everyday people like you and me, and those are the market makers, the institutions or the composite men. And that basically means that these institutions, they buy and sell certain stocks in particular patterns, and we can just show them out and look at these trends to show you what on earth a play may end up doing in the future. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that this is perfect, so take this with a grain of salt, like I said, but this is just something that could end up playing out for NEO because we have these different phases in which there are times when institutions start selling, then they start buying, they start reaccumulating during these phases. We enter a distribution phase, then all of a sudden they let the thing run, they start buying like crazy, and the thing ends up running like crazy. And this could also be dictated by how a stock does, pieces of news like that. And right now, as you guys know, I'm very bullish for the long-term future of NEO. And so what I think is going to play out is the chart may look very similar to this over the long run. And if you go back, if you go into the future in a couple of months, you may see what I'm saying play out. You may not. It may not be perfect, guys, but I'm just putting it out there that this is something that could end up playing out for NEO. So check this out right over here. We have this chart right over here, and then we had a phase A. So let me show you phase A is like right here. Look at the way the chart looks. Remember that last run-up we had, and I think that this is the best way to look at it. This was after NEO Day. We ran all the way up to 66. Then after that, we started descending, right? And we have this preliminary support right here because right at that point, people were not necessarily panicking just yet. And they end up making particular moves based off their emotions a little bit after. So right here, let me add this. I forgot to add this. I do apologize. We have this selling Climax, right? That's when people became very, very emotional, kind of panicky even, and that's what caused NEO to drop really, really low. We see this very long red candle. We have an automatic reaction which led to the spring-like pattern, and then right now we have that secondary test, a run up, another secondary test. We entered phase B. This was the secondary test in phase B. That big run up. Then we drop, we run up again a couple of times. Then we start descending. Then there's another run up, right? Testing the resistance at a lower level. Then we dip all the way to this last point of support. Now, this last point of support may go lower, which means NEO could drop a little bit more. And the thing to remember is NEO is not the cause of this, guys. NEO is not the company that caused this whole dip to happen. I can bring up other charts. Just look. Tesla is well in the red. AMC is in the red. NEO is in the red. The S&P, the entire market is taking a dump right now. It's not just because of NEO's fundamentals. So don't look at it that way. NEO has been doing next to everything right. So check this out. Anyways, the thing about NEO is, sure, they're a very good company. They have a lot of potential, but they dipped. And now we're at that last point of support. And what that basically means that this is where NEO support's going to hold up. I think that it's going to drop a little bit more because of what's going on with the market, because of inflationary data causing the Fed to potentially raise interest rates very soon. Not guaranteed just yet. It really depends on what the announcement says on Wednesday. It's also because of what happened in Evergrande as institutions are pumping money in different places. But anyways, we know that once we get to that last point of support, it may last a couple of weeks. It may last a couple of months, guys. This may go on for a few months. NEO may remain a little bit low, or NEO Day could be the thing that causes this thing to absolutely run up. It may all of a sudden explode before you know it. I don't truly know when we're going to see the sign of strength, when we run all the way right back up and enter a new phase. It may take a few months. It may happen in a couple of weeks. I don't truly know, guys. And that's my entire intention. My intention in this channel is not just, to make any perfect predictions, okay? My intention is to prepare you for both scenarios and educate you. So this is what we could see play out very soon. So I don't know exactly how long this is going to take. I do see bullish momentum coming once the market allows it, because the market's not in the best of phases. So we could see an extended LPS phase. So like I said, once again, the future is not dark for NEO, because eventually, I don't know if it's going to take a few weeks. I don't know if it's going to happen after NEO Day. I don't know if it's going to take a few months. But eventually, after we hit the last point of support, we're going to enter phase D. And once we enter phase D, we're going to have a very beautiful run up to this level of resistance. In fact, we may even break it. The level of resistance I'm talking about would be the $55 range. Now, considering that a lot of institutions have been loading up on NEO, they're giving it very high price targets and people are very bullish. The company is just expanding to Europe and doing all these big things. I could easily see this happen sometime in early 2022, maybe. And then after that, we may, kind of trade a little sideways for maybe a month or so. And then soon we'll have another huge run up again, a big rally that could bring this thing all the way up to the 70s. Now, like I said before, I don't know if it's going to take a few weeks or a few months for us to get to the SOS phase or sign of strength. But at the end of the day, I know it most definitely will come. Now, Nothing in the market is guaranteed. This is not financial advice. This is all for entertainment. But this is just showing you what happens when you wait over a long period of time. If you guys think I'm crazy, let me show you another example of this playing out. I actually mapped this out for the Tesla stock. Look at this. You guys could see this played out perfectly, almost perfectly. We saw this preliminary support, the drop, selling climax, automatic reaction, the secondary test in phase A, a run up, another secondary test in phase B, and then we ran up again. This was a very shortened phase B. Look at the spring. See how it dropped? See the spring right here where my cursor is? Spring, it drops really low. It runs up. It runs up. Then we have a test. The test exactly like that. It starts running up in a bullish cycle. Then all of a sudden we see the SOS. And then a giant big run. So that's for Tesla. What about NIO? Check this out. NIO is following it really well in my opinion. So I definitely think that considering that it has a lot of upside potential, I do see NIO hitting some big moves if the market allows it and if the time actually comes when it comes. So when this thing will run, it will run. And I do think it's going to follow this pattern. I just don't know exactly how long it's going to take. I don't know if it's going to take a few months, if it's going to happen in a few weeks. At the end of the day, I'm bullish. So that's what I have for this video, guys. Thank you for listening. I do apologize for not recording on Tuesday. I was just not available. So I did record this Monday night, like I said. I don't know if what I showed you, the numbers would be perfect or super accurate. But at the end of the day, the play is the same. We're in a position where we could accumulate more NIO shares for lower prices. Now, non-financial advice, by the way. I have to keep on reminding you of that, but you guys get my point. So thank you for listening, guys. I do see a lot of potential in this stock in the future. Give it the time it needs, and this thing is going to the moon. Thank you, and peace out.